This is A-Level Computer Science Programming Project Testing, candidate name Matthew Rogan, candidate number 2150. So let's get started with test number 1. Only existing users can log in. So let's say I want to log in with a username that's not currently on the system. So let's just say random username. And for the password, we'll just put any old keys in. Click login, user does not exist. Test number 2, incorrect passwords are rejected. So let's now go for a username that does exist on the system. So let's say sample. This is a user that is currently on the system, but the password is the wrong one. If I click login, the system tells me that there's an incorrect password. Test number 3, a successful login is defined by the correct username and password. So if I now pop the correct password in for the sample account, we should get a login. There we go. So as we have logged in from those details, that test is successful. So now let's log out for the next test. Number 4, new users cannot use an existing username. So if I go to the new user window and I attempt to create a user with the name sample, so we know that that username is currently taken. So let's pop the details in. Sample user. And click submit. It tells us that the username is taken. Test number 5, new accounts are created using usernames that are not currently reserved. So let's say I want to create a second sample account, and we'll call it sample user 2. Oh, I think I've already got that one on the system. Let's say sample 5. So let's actually check that sample 5 is currently not a user that exists. So sample 5. Okay, so we know the user does not exist. So sample 5, password in, sample user 5. Let's click submit. So user has been added. So now when I try to log in, we have success. So test number 6, non-existing users cannot be deleted. So let's log out. Let's go for a user that currently doesn't exist. So sample 6, we'll just clarify that. So user does not exist, so let's go to delete user. Enter user to delete, let's say sample 6, ABC123, ABC123. Delete user, this user does not exist, so that test is successful. Test number 7, user cannot be deleted whilst details are inconsistent. So let's now try to delete sample 5, but I've entered the password incorrectly. So when I click delete user, it says passwords do not match. So all good there. Test number 8, deletion only possible when all details are accurate. So if I pop that last key back in there and I click delete user, it tells us user has been deleted, but we need to check that. So let's click exit, go to the login system, and let's try sample 5, pop in our password, and we are told the user does not exist. So we've successfully tested the deletion system and the user creation system. Now let's go on to testing the game. Test number 10, for users with a high score between 0 and 45 words per minute, they will answer easy words. So let's log on to the sample account. And password should be the same. Good. So we're logged in as a sample user. Now let's have a look at the high scores to see what we've currently got on the system. So the two users, MRO, which is my account, and LL Cool J, they've currently got high scores in the system. So the high score for MRO is 71, and the high score for LL Cool J is 48. But we're testing for a user that's got a high score between 0 and 45. So the sample user that I logged in as has currently got no high scores because they have no scores in the system. So if I go to see my scores, nothing's been recorded yet. So currently we're sitting on a high score of 0. So if we play the game, we can see that some of the words we're getting are mile, jelly, mix, foot. The words that have been loaded into the queue aren't that long. They're just between 4 and 5 years old, sometimes 5 years old, words long. So it's not that long, so we can conclude that these are the easy words. So I'm just going to close that and restart the program. So test number 11, is that if a high score is between 45 and 70, the user answers medium words. So, as we saw from the high scores, LL Cool J has a high score of 48, so this falls within our medium range. So I'm going to log in as LL Cool J, just double check the password. So, log in. So, double check, view the high scores for this account, Lucas. So, it's 48. So the words we should be getting should be a mixture of long words and shorter words. So as we see here, retiree, lounge, arch, tolerate, skin. We're getting a mixture of longer words and shorter words. So I think we can conclude that that test is successful. Test number 12. If a high score is over 70 words per minute, we use hard words. Now, my account, MRO, we noticed that the high score there was 71. So given that this falls within that range, we should conclude that the words are all going to be rather longer than the easy and medium words. So consistently long words. Let's have a look. We've got disagree, investment, waterfall, rational, etc. So I'm not going to shut this time because test number 13 is that we use 60 seconds for gameplay. So in the video I should have marked the timestamp that we began timing and typing words. So from there I'm just going to complete a round and we're going to see if that does last 60 seconds, and from there we'll be able to determine the successfulness of the test.